Hello everyone, welcome to So Bad It's Good. My name is Tom.
My name's Chris.
I'm Dave.
Please remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe. We have videos coming out probably every 3 months, but they're chunky ones. We've got a doozy for them today, haven't we?
A doozy is one way of describing it.
What do we watch, Dave?
Kill Switch, the Steven Seagal movie you need in your lives.
I ain't finished yet.
The person on the front is actually Steven Seagal, just heavily edited. You could almost do him for misrepresentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are fooled because you're like, oh, he's our star.
He's looking good.
I thought this was young Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
film.
this is going to be one of the classics.
Yeah.
Like, this is based on the picture.
When-
this is like
Hang
Under
on,
Siege
classic.
type.
Yeah, I
Classic.
was about to say that.
Just the one
He made that one film on the boat, didn't he? On the submarine.
on the boat.
Yeah.
He's in the Navy. He was the
Siege.
chef in the
Yeah,
Navy.
Under Siege.
Under Siege. Why are you saying that like you just remembered it? I said it literally 30 seconds ago.
I didn't hear him.
Man, what a shame. Pretty young girl like this end up like that.
So Steven Seagal plays your kind of a rough and ready cop who doesn't play by any rules. Even the most basic of
Or
just
sort of any
common
rules,
decency.
Any rules of criminality, even.
No.
He just transcends all of them.
Guess you want to talk to my fist.
If you were to watch this out of context, which is very easy to do because so much of the dialogue is mumbled and makes no sense, you could quite easily think that he was the bad guy of this whole movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so in essence, Steven Seagal plays good cop Jacob.
Good cop? Psychopath cop
Well,
Jacob,
I mean,
maybe?
according to Storm,
You got the wrong impression of him, kid. Jacob's a good man.
That's your opinion.
according to Storm, he's a good guy. But essentially, we've got Steven Seagal playing a troubled. Police officer
Yeah.
on the tail of not one
Lazarus Jones, MPD, you're under arrest. Put your hands in the air.
but two
Just get yourself with. Yeah, you gonna bend over and I'm gonna stick my size 14 up your ass.
serial killers.
Yes.
Yeah. It's about catching them.
Yeah, it's about catching them.
That's it. It's
On-
just about him catching.
Yeah.
serial
On the
killer.
way, he has some run-ins with a female FBI officer.
When was this booked? Why didn't I get the lab reports?
Well, I just like to keep shit kind of close to my vest, you know.
That's not protocol.
I'm not too good at protocol.
There's no conceivable reason why this man should be a police officer anymore. At all.
There are a number of fight scenes which are, it's safe to say, not his best.
Right.
Or indeed him at all at points.
Yeah.
The movie is kind of intercut with a number of flashback scenes
Yes.
which show Jacob birthday party.
Yep.
People singing happy birthday to Jacob, which is nice, but they're also singing happy birthday to Daniel. Now Daniel, we discover, I think, do we discover or do we just deduce?
Well, he looks
That is his
like
brother.
him.
that it's his twin brother.
Yeah.
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 And then random strange man appears or turns up.
That never
and
appears again.
Never
No.
appears again.
No.
Nothing to do with the current setting of the movie or
Do we
anything
know?
like that.
Do we know whatever happened to that man? Did he ever say, "Oh, that
No,
that
no,
bastard
nothing.
died,"
No.
or-
Nothing comes of that entire thing at all.
Other than the chap in the woods kills his brother, stabs him in the neck.
Yeah.
You are left to assume that he dies. I guess
Yeah.
Well, he
must
fell
do.
over.
Yeah.
And I think,
Closed his eyes.
yeah, did some acting. That is supposed to basically kind of foreshadow his
Aggressive.
aggressive, brutal behaviour.
So that's the story. There's not much to it. What is filling our eyes?
We got some flashbacks. We got some accents.
You know what? This is police work. Come on up here, meet my girl.
One in particular, I think it's only his really that is the most questionable.
Now, why would I tell the uniforms, man? I need that crime scene preserved. Besides, we the detectives.
We've also got a remarkable cameo from an almost dead Isaac Hayes.
She was hooker by trade. Got a cesarean in his car. Must have had at least one child.
He plays the coroner. So
How apt.
yeah, but yeah, there are kind of those are they're the three main. Oh, and the editing. So the editing, particularly
Yeah, yeah.
of the fight scene.
Yeah.
It's just fight scenes loosely strung together.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd say there's a very good word. He has to.
Go on, you finish that.
Oh,
Go on.
Yeah. It's worth pointing out that this is a movie that Steven Seagal has written.
That makes a lot of sense.
I've never seen anything that's so devoid of any emotion at
Yeah.
any point.
The whole film
There's
is
nothing.
There's one moment and it's near the end and it's who's the guy?
Storm.
Was it Storm?
Storm.
Played by who's the one? He's the musician.
Yeah, he's obviously a musician.
He's obviously not an
Chris
actor.
Thomas King.
He sees his other colleague is dead, police officer's dead.
It's Celine. She's dead.
I think it's a little unfair to call it acting.
We could probably do as good a job as Seagal. Cutscene, cutscene, cutscene. Unnamed tragedy happens.
Yeah.
Cut back to Steven Seagal.
Oh no.
So Steven Seagal obviously made his name as not a particularly good martial artist, because he basically the martial art he does and has always been like a master of.
Yeah.
He's basically just slapping people and parrying blows. Not
Yeah.
particularly exciting to watch.
No.
I don't think. So
It's not
I
big
think,
set
I think it
pieces.
could be interested to watch. I don't think it is.
first fight scene of the movie,
The fuck are you doing in my place?
he dubs him as the hillbilly, but he is actually his name's Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Difference between you and me is you love to prey on the weak and innocent, but I like to prey on sick people like you.
But he doesn't look like a hillbilly.
He doesn't, but then who
No.
does?
It just needed
Apart from
a
Hillbilly.
snappy name.
He just needed something to call him, and he couldn't call him Baby, which is what he calls Storm
Would you-
all the way through.
What's on your mind, baby?
I got her, baby.
What's going on, baby? You all right?
Baby, you ain't had nothing to worry about.
Hey, baby, what's happening? Do we know where?
Close, baby.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Fuck the bite. All right, I'll get back to you.
There is a slight undertone of homoeroticism
Yeah.
going on.
Like when he turns up at his house at 3:30 in the
Yeah.
morning for a drink that he's trying to quit, and to tell him that he doesn't want to lose his pension, and then just fucks off.
I need this pension.
And then the next scene, they're together at a crime scene. You could have done that all in one go, Stephen.
They're not only together at a crime scene, they're together at a crime scene, and they walk in silence for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Storm, though, then says to Seagal,
I'm probably seeing real paranoid right about now.
No, I can't. I cannot
Yeah.
tell anything because just acting is so bad.
Yeah.
Chris Thomas King is a good blues musician.
Yeah.
And it
You
is
said
a real,
he's in Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
yeah,
But he's in that as a musician, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's not in
excellent
that as an
song.
actor. First fight scene is him and Billy Joe. Has a horrifically brutal fight. This is while they're trying to defuse a bomb that Billy Joe has buried in a woman's chest.
And then he goes, because he's so fucking good, he goes,
Hillbilly, we cut the yellow to the black.
How have you narrowed that down, lads? Dunno. We looked at the other ones, they're not plugged into anything.
Cut the black. Put the yellow to it.
The last time we see the woman with the bomb in her chest, there are 3.5 minutes left on the clock. They're all just standing around.
This is when
having
they
a
all
chat.
arrive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know what? He up there watching us right now.
Stephen says it's probably up there.
Detective work. Ace detective work.
It's just probably up there. Somehow gets across the street, up the building, finds the right room.
yeah,
And
the
knocks
shit out
7
of him.
colours of shit out of the bloke, yeah.
Yeah,
for half hour.
for half hour, and then you get quickly. What wire is it?
They cut the yellow wire with 1 second to go. But
And magically he's right.
Which is handy because all his mates were standing around this woman.
Can you imagine?
it's been blown up. Yeah, they must have checked and just been like, oh, it's only a small check. It just blow a hole.
Oh,
in
it's
the
only
check.
gonna kill
Yeah.
her.
And then he's going to arrest Billy Joe.
Sawan, give me a hand.
Fuck you!
The guy hits
The
concrete and is twitching
At the bottom.
like he's
He's
like he's
I
done
thought
for.
he was dead.
Turns out Billy Joe's actually got
Still
the
alive.
healing powers of Wolverine
He's
because
pretty
he
alright.
walks out of the prison having been released because he can't be held
because Steven
because
Seagal beat
Steven
him up
Seagal
too
beat him
much.
up too bad. You see him smash through that window. I think it's at least 6 or 7 times.
And I haven't made that edit. That is how they have done it. It is so bad, and it makes you think it's a joke. It makes you think the film, like you would, if you were parodying action films, that's what you would do. This is how I knew Steven Seagal was in that edit. Unless this editor was on crack, there's no way that someone that calls themselves an editor would cut that thing and sit back and go, nailed it. I honestly, before I show some of these clips, I might have to put seizure warning in front of them. And I'm not, no, I'm not even joking. I am not even joking.
Just in case.
I think someone that gets turned with seizures and shit or whatever, this stuff would do it. They jump cut.
What did you just say? Turned with
Seizures and shit.
Do you mean... Right, sorry, seizures.
Not Caesars.
No, Caesar's sauce. They jump cut from him walking to here to him walking to there. It jump cuts all over the place, then repeats it, and like I don't.
Do you think he just couldn't be asked to walk?
Yeah,
I walk 5 yards, and then you can carry me.
I'm surprised there's an editor's name on it.
It's just a paycheck, isn't it?
It is entirely obvious that at no point is Steven Seagal actually in any of those fights.
But he just keeps cutting to these shots where Seagal is just stood there, clearly has exerted no effort,
no
movement at all.
So this film is, I mean, it's an 18, right? And it fully deserves that 18. Totally get that, right?
Get some violence.
And I've got nothing wrong with violence. I'm all cool for violence. What it is, though, it's when your hero is excessively violent towards people that clearly have lost the fight, and you can tell he takes pleasure in it. And I get that's partly what we're going for with this because of his psychologically bad
yeah, he's
past.
supposed to be a rogue cop, isn't he?
Yeah, but as an audience member, you don't feel for him.
No, you don't like him because he's just so horrible.
So I think doesn't this bring us to essentially the way the characters interact? He's obviously investigating these 2 crimes with his friend Storm, who's just the best partner any guy could ever wish for.
Detective King, Frankie Miller, FBI.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
A Fed gets assigned to the case.
Because they've been so shit and can't solve the case.
Essentially, because someone said, hang on, he threw him out of a window.
Yeah, you know, folks downtown told me you'd be coming, and they kind of wanted me to cooperate, you know.
Well, I'm not here to get in the way, mostly observe, possibly offer some of my own expertise.
The federal agent is a woman. And literally, as soon as she arrives, the level of hostility that is shown towards her.
I'd love some of your expertise, you know, because I can see at your age, you probably got a lot more expertise than we do.
Lots more.
You know what I mean?
Not, it appears, because she's a Fed.
I think that's what they're going for. They're going for she's coming in and she's interfering in our case and what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But it just comes off as good old-fashioned misogyny.
I handled a homicide once.
She handled a homicide once. One time. Y'all stick around. I'm sure this girl can entertain you. Wouldn't you say, Storm? She's very entertaining.
The story isn't written as though she's incompetent. She actually does do a good bit of work.
She's probably the most astute person.
No, that's what I mean. That's why it's so conflicting.
Because the story isn't, for example, Billy Joe, he gets released from prison, kills 3 people in a car. When they find out that this guy has killed 3 more people,
within 1 hour, he done killed 3 more people.
Seagal looks at her.
How you like that?
They're so dismissive of her.
You better slow down. I don't know what they taught you up there in DC, but you better make damn sure you know what the hell you're doing.
There's nothing about the woman that makes you think that any of their actions are justified.
No.
She's not an arsehole.
You don't know what line they're towing, so you're constantly going, I don't know, I now don't like both of the main cop guys because I don't think they're right in anything they do.
Rude.
No.
How's your tummy, sweetheart? Heard you lost your lunch.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You're like a bad rash, man. You just keep coming back.
Show them what you got, little lady.
You think this is a window into the mind of Steven Seagal?
Yeah.
That we were lucky enough.
Yeah, we were privileged enough to watch.
There are scenes and shots, or shots rather than scenes, that should be longer than they are.
Yeah,
Namely, all of the stuff that happens in the fights and all of it. Yet when you get to scenes of dialogue, those seem to be just only marginally, but just enough to notice, just a little bit too long.
They're just
for what they
awkwardly
actually are.
long, aren't
yeah,
they?
so
Yeah.
someone will say something and then they'll look at the other person.
Kind of makes us look like assholes, don't it?
An hour 26 this film is.
They're trying to drag this shit show out.
I get
They're
it.
trying to get something. So if you could claw back 5 seconds, lingering
true.
on a shot of someone.
That's true.
I think it did eventually get some kind of theatrical release.
There must
no.
have been. There must have been an online
It was-
petition for it.
If for no other reason should you watch this movie, it's for 2 of the most exceptional lines of dialogue I think I've ever heard. I don't know about anyone else. They've gone to one of the murders by the grifter killer. She's leaving with another female police officer, Celine, who also happens to be Steven Seagal's fancy lady.
You work too hard.
Well, you drink too much.
Who he treats even worse than he treats the FBI lady. Insomuch as she'll sit there and spend 5 minutes talking to him.
I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Nights has an opening.
That always has openings.
And he will ignore her
He doesn't
for the
look up.
entire scene.
Well, she talks about wanting to be a detective like him.
It'll help me become a detective. Like you.
No, you should go for it.
and he just
He just completely brushes it off like, yeah, whatever, love.
I thought this place was abandoned.
and she hears some domestic violence.
Yes.
To set the scene, he's shouting at her saying that he believes she's cheated on him. He's got a big knife in his hand.
Yeah.
She's sitting there, and the first thing she says to him, and I quote,
Please, Lupe, you just smoked too much crack.
"You just smoked too much crack."
You know what? Instantly, I knew what the problem was.
Yeah,
true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lupe's been on the crack again. Now he's threatening his wife with a knife. I guess it's a thing to show a bit of her character and who she is.
Yeah.
Which again
Because
is
she wants to-
odd in this movie.
Yeah.
That's written by him. The way they treat her,
Because
yet they try to
who's-
set her up as a.
So Lady FBI is with Celine.
Is
isn't
with
she?
Celine,
Yeah.
who
And
is his fancy woman.
Celine just kind of says, "What's the point? She's
Yeah,
not going to
don't
do
bother.
anything."
Agent Miller, I do not think that we should get involved in this domestic shit. Half the time, the women don't even press charges.
She kicks the door down, takes the guy out with a baton.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Pretty good as well. It's
Yeah,
actually
without brutality.
The best
the
fight
best
scene.
fight scene in this, without a doubt.
The woman, the wife or girlfriend, stands up and says,
You didn't have to hurt him. Told you so.
There's a bit, and I know that you love this bit, where Storm starts to tell Lady FBI officer a story. It starts out that I believe he's trying to convince her of how good a cop or how good
Yeah,
a guy.
it's very weird.
Seagal
Jacob is, yeah.
What he would
So
do
he
with this.
so he starts telling her a story.
You ever hear the case about the cannibal of South County?
No.
That was the first case Jacob and I ever did together.
And they go in, and he's scared. And Jacob says, "There's not time to call back up. There's always time to call back up. Do it while you walk in, but never mind." They go into it. That all kind of explains itself after when she gets to the end of the story.
I was scared. I ain't even gonna lie to you, I was scared. This man was not only a killer, he was a motherfucking cannibal.
Says they walk into a room and they find the cannibal, and the cannibal is on his knees eating basically a man in a clown outfit. And she's into it. She's into the
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
She
yeah.
believes
She's
it.
believing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
She believes it.
Well, because there's a point where she says,
You're kidding me.
Nah, I wouldn't bullshit you.
One of the things he says is that it is very quiet. If you were to describe to someone how quiet a thing was, right, what would be first thing that pops into your head?
Well, I'd say so quiet you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah. Something that sort of rings true to everyday life, and you think, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I get that. It was so quiet. You could hear a rat pissing on a cat.
We were so quiet, you could hear a rat piss on cat.
I mean, technically, a cat would be soft, therefore, you know, it'd be like pissing on a carpet or something.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hear the spatterings.
Yeah.
And if
But-
the rat was
Do you
pissing
think?
on the
Do you
floor.
think it's not just a fuck up, like when he says, "I like to keep things close to my vest"?
I like to keep my files close to my vest.
So Stephen, it could be a Memphis saying, though. You know,
Could be.
I suppose it could.
I mean,
suppose
let's
could
be honest.
A colloquialism.
It
couldn't
just rhymes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why that's in there.
Fucking nonsense. So Billy Joe has killed Celine, who is his fancy woman. So
And he spends half a second concerned about it.
he does not even concerned. He spends half a second looking at her, and then Billy Joe jumps out of a cupboard or something. I don't know where he comes from. And have a fight where again he throws him through every piece of furniture he can find, providing it has at least a small amount of glass.
Yeah, there was a
in
lot
the
of glass tables in that flat.
Yeah, he likes glass.
They have this big fight, which happens, and then
Don't make it sound grand.
no, they
Yeah, it's
they
pretty
have this
shit.
very short fight that's made to last a very long time through bad editing.
Better.
They end in it's a knife showdown, and then he slices Billy Joe's throat,
Yep.
and Billy Joe utters the immortal line, "You've killed me,"
You've killed me.
and then dies. So while he stood there and Billy Joe is laying there either dying or dead on his floor, you hear police sirens blaring.
Right.
Then the police arrive,
Yeah.
and he's not there. He's managed to take the time to write a note to Storm,
Yeah.
where basically he says,
Storm, I'm sorry about Celine. Billy Joe killed her, and I took care of him my way. He won't be up on appeal. You've been a great partner. I know my methods are unconventional, but hell, that's how I caught Lazarus. Take his confession for me, would you? I'll look you up one day.
and then he's just gone.
That's it. He's
That's it.
left.
He's gone.
Because he's realised he's overstepped the mark.
Yeah,
And he's killed a man
yeah.
that should have gone to court.
Up to that point,
Yeah.
as far as we're aware, Steven Seagal lives in Memphis
In a flat with too many glass tables.
in a flat with a lot of glass tables and a brass or bronze looking statue of a lion on his desk. And Celine, the female police officer who he likes
his
to ignore.
aspirational
Yeah, she
female
hangs
police
around all the time.
She's
doesn't
there.
she?
She's at his flat.
She lives there.
She's wearing his shirt in, one of the things. It then cuts to essentially like a country home type thing.
Yeah,
sort of
like some manor.
Like double-fronted manor house
Yeah.
with sort of a big fountain or something in the, a big sort of wraparound driveway. He
Yeah.
pulls up, gets out of the car, goes to the door, and some blonde, I assume Russian woman answers the door.
Was it Russian? I thought-
Well, it says it
she was
says
French.
she's speaking in a foreign language.
Yeah.
That's what the subtitle said. That in itself, you think, oh, hello, the cheeky monkey. He's got a little fancy,
Yeah,
fancy
another fancy
like
lady.
bolt hole tucked away.
Yep.
And then two little people run up from behind her.
Not little, but the kids.
Kids.
Don't.
Well, yes. yeah. Not,
Not
yeah,
Snow
yeah, it's
White
not-
and the Seven
It's not
Dwarfs.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Two kids run up.
I would say about
So-
six and
Probably
five
six.
ish.
Oh,
or
no,
to
one
be-
of them looked sort of closer to 10.
I would
Yeah,
I would
maybe,
say
right.
probably between kind of 6 and 10
Yeah,
between them.
yeah.
Not sure exactly what. Run up, Papa,
Yeah.
and they then took one Alexei and Sasha.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gives them gifts. Then they send the two children off with the au pair.
I mean, he's got money. Where is he getting this money from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the people he's been offing. He's
But
been
then but then
Nicks their wallets.
He takes the blonde woman upstairs.
Yep.
She just gratuitously takes her dress off,
Yep.
gets her tits out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he gives her
That's
a kiss
it.
and they shut the door and the
And-
credits roll.
Only reason I can see for that scene is that he is dictated that he has to have a scene with an attractive blonde woman
Yep.
who gets her tits out. Because
Yeah.
that's the only possible explanation for this.
Because it bears, like,
Nothing.
quite literally no relation to any of the
There's
rest
been
of the narrative.
no setup at all
But-
for the fact that he might have another family. At all.
But is that trying to imply that he's over his emotional, psychological anger
Are you
issues?
suggesting then that someone forgot to put up the 10 years later tag?
10 years later, and he has finally gotten over his anger issues, and now he's a happy family man. That's what I think they were going for. But they didn't.
Nah.
No, but you're right. But they didn't connect it with anything, though.
The way it's cut and the way it looks in the film, that he's run off to Memphis, become a police officer, shacked up with another woman,
Knocked
had
the
enough of
shit
it,
out of so many people.
and then just returned home eventually, and they're like,
Yes,
Papa,
yeah.
you're back after
Yeah.
your 5-year family sabbatical.
You're right. That's what it does come across like. I don't think that's what they wanted, but
I
you're
think,
right.
I think that is
happy.
what they wanted. I think that's what it is.
You think that's what it is? He left his family to go to fight strangers in Memphis so he could come back to them. That is batshit.
They clearly,
Yes.
and they,
Did
but
you
the
watch
whole
any
film,
of the rest
yeah,
of the film?
The
Yeah, but
whole
no,
film is
but-
bollocks.
I can't believe that. Stephen, mate, get in contact
Yeah,
with
could
us.
you pop it in the comments?
I want to know. I want to know what's happened. Because I'm dying to know. I've watched this film twice now, and I'm going to have to watch it several more times in the edit. Please, for the love of
I
Christ.
doubt you're up to much.
Oh,
So just
don't.
get in
We're not
touch.
going to get a response from him if you're going to insult him like
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna be
Yeah,
rude.
but he might
You're gonna be
Also-
rude
rile him
about
up
it.
now.
Also, don't say he's not up to much. There are so many films on Amazon that I will buy which star him because they
To prove
all-
to you that he's up to a bloody lot.
he is working a lot. And then, also, he eyes up the fucking.
The au pair.
He eyes up the
Whilst,
au pair
whilst kissing his wife, he's like that.
as his children are walking away. You're like, what the fuck is going on? You're such an arsehole.
I'm
You
telling
shouldn't have
you.
happiness.
I think he just wants attractive women in front of him, so he could just have a
It doesn't
gander.
make any sense.
No, it doesn't. The whole film. It just wants to make some money and see some tits. That's it.
Yeah.
It might give it a few years, and that'll probably be all that would be on the back of his DVDs.
What, just-
Steven Seagal kicks some people and then see
Tits.
some tits. That's it. That'll be the synopsis. Steven Seagal, some violence, tits.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
I mean-
Well, it is, but it is in this.
Because he could make that really unentertaining.
Yeah, he can.
He could make an orgy unentertaining.
So we give it a score out of 5 each on its entertainment level. Christopher?
Oh, it's so hard because it's so shit, and it was a real struggle watching this more than once. I mean, the first time round was bad enough.
Second time, I think I laughed more the second time round.
Yeah, I think I did.
One. That's
Yeah.
all it's getting from me. It's not that entertaining.
Yeah.
He is awful, and it feels like you're watching something you don't want to be a part of. Because they're so horrible.
Yeah,
It's just that I don't want to be associated with you.
yeah.
So no, 1. Even then, I'm not even sure why I'm giving it 1, but I'll give it
I think
1.
you're giving it 1 because it deserves that.
It
at
does-
least.
Yeah.
well,
it
mate,
deserves a score.
just
and it
the-
deserves a
I
round
think
number.
it deserves 1 just for the audacity of trying to film something like that.
I'm also going to give it a 1. If the fight scenes were trimmed down to the actual length, this film would probably be quite bearable. It'd be a hell of a lot shorter, and it'd be quite bearable. There is enough funny, weird moments in it to giggle at that I guess it gets a 1. But it is hard going also.
So I was gonna, if you'd have asked me immediately after we watched it the first time, I'd have definitely said a 1. Having watched it a second time,
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a higher score because I got more out of it.
Yeah.
But as we've been sitting talking, I think the reason I got more out of it was because on the second run we skipped through
Yeah.
all
Lot of
but the
bollocks.
first 2 fight scenes.
Yeah.
Other than that, we bounced through it. So
a hard
therefore,
watch.
I got to enjoy just
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
awful.
yeah.
So I'm going to give it an official score of 1.
Yeah.
But I would say, if you were to watch this and skip through all
Some
but
of the
the
action,
first
yeah.
two fight scenes,
Yeah.
and possibly watch the last ones,
Yeah.
but there's like 3 in the middle that you can just avoid.
Yeah.
The film actually probably moves up to a 2.
So there we go, 3 out of 15. Please do give us a like if you managed to get it this far. We at least deserve a like. We'll have other videos coming up pretty soon.
If you like and subscribe, you get all your notifications. You get to experience when our videos come out, sort of once every. What are we on now? Average
months.
one every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, about that.
So it's unlikely you're going to be checking back in regularly.
So
So
we're
if you
not gonna-
tick on that little bell,
Yeah, we're not going to be cluttering your notifications that much.
no. So you might as well give it a go.
We'll see you on the next one.
Ta-ra.
Really no payoff. Someone's going to have to do something about that.
What are you? It's a moth.
Yeah, I can't deal with them.
What are you afraid of?
Moths.
It's just a dirty butterfly.
It's not a dirty butterfly. It's a fucking kamikaze.
Why are we so late filming? Oh, we had a moth problem. Dave's petrified of them.
don't know what you want me to say.
I don't
That's
get
just
it.
that's
I just don't
factual.
get it.
I can't deal with them.
What though? What?
The unpredictability and the fly. I just can't. I can't.
Do you worry about flies as well then?
No, just moths. Just moths.
What about butterflies?
Nope. No weight to a butterfly. There's no weight to a butterfly. No. No, there's
Hello.
no weight to a butterfly.
Yeah.